Okay.
All right, I guess this is episode 3. This is an impromptu.
Well, it's episode 2.
Yeah, third episode, but episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we start with episode 0.
That's right.
This is kind of an impromptu thing. This wasn't planned. This is actually the day after the last episode.
Correct.
We just, life factors sort of led to us being here again. So I should say this is the Fritter Hollow podcast. I got to get in the habit of saying that. And that you can reach us at hello@fritterhollow.com. I'm not going to spell it out or any shit like that. I'll just say that people can find it. Well, I guess I have a couple things I want to talk about, but you first. Do you have anything?
Well, the thing that's on my mind, I guess, I've been thinking about it for since we wrapped up the last session, is reorganizing this space.
That's mostly what I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
too.
yeah.
But I guess leading up to that, what I will say is we have a friend named Jason.
Yeah.
Who has been affiliated with us pretty much throughout this whole process too, who has no idea we're doing this at this point. And we made a conscious decision to not tell him. We have a shared Discord server that we all communicate over. We've made a conscious decision, Dan and I, to not tell Jason that we're doing this. And we're going to bring him in next week.
Yeah.
And just spring a microphone on him, and he'll be that week's guest.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to him, and he'll learn about that here. So any listeners will actually hear his reaction and learning about it and everything. And I think he would be a good guy to get in on the conversation of how we could possibly set this room up too for performances.
Yeah.
So I think me and you should talk about it some now, kick around ideas, but we shouldn't make any definitive decisions, I don't think, until we have the episode with Jason.
Well, I'm down with that, but I was thinking mostly just of scheduling a time to. Bus all this stuff over to the other side of the room.
You think that's the right thing to do? Is to move it to the other side of the room?
Oh, I very much do. Yeah. I think that was a great idea. So inside the room is roughly, I think, what did we figure this out to be? I think it's about 18 or 20 by 15 or something like that. So
20 by 16 is what I.
20 by 16. Yeah. So I mean, it's a really good sized room. I mean, it's not huge. It's not concert hall size, but or even rehearsal hall size. But it's a big office. It would be a really big office. And on the one wall, the door wall, there's kind of an indent of about 10 or 12 feet wide and about 4 feet deep.
4 feet deep, yeah.
And if that were to be used to store stuff, including shelves.
Well, I would leave maybe one shelving unit out because we are going to need a place to put things. Mm-hmm. And then I was thinking maybe move that bigger table out here, but maybe that's a mistake too.
That I think we could probably consult on, like see what Jason would think about that. But I think if we were to move all of the upright stuff into that pocket, and I think the shelves you would still have access to them, like they're not going to be blocked or anything like that. We don't. There isn't a lot of stuff.
And I get, for clarity for any listeners, what we're talking about is audio-video equipment.
Yeah, which is now sort of temporarily in storage until we figure out exactly what we want to do with it.
Right. This space we got was originally like a songwriter's recording studio. Was the original idea.
Yeah.
So we have a whole lot of decent quality recording gear in here, some computer stuff that is related to that, and then Dan, who's been a lifelong videographer and photographer, has film and photo gear that ended up being stored here as well. So we have, equipment-wise, we're set to start like a small production outfit. Yeah. But we don't have a point for some of this yet, but I think letting it go is a mistake.
Yeah. So so that would be that. So anyway, that's what we're thinking of. But then what we do or how we treat that main desk. There's also a mix desk in here, a mixer, audio mixer. And I mean, the thing is how we set that up, I don't know yet, but by clearing this wall, which is one of the wide walls, which would be about 16 feet then, we could do a lot, and I mean, I don't know, if we bring a ladder in, we could probably even hang lights from the ceiling, I don't know. Or put them on stands, I guess.
So we would have basically performers against this wall facing here, and then just have like chairs we could line up, I guess?
Yeah. I think that would be the easiest, the cheapest, and the easiest to clean up after, like each performance. Yeah. And we're only talking about maybe like 1 or 2 or 3. Like I think it's just more or less to produce a proof of concept, I think.
Yes, but that is the point. Just a couple for proof of concept. But if it works, it might be worth keeping around for little things too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would like to see us outgrow it quickly.
So would I.
Yeah.
So would I.
Yeah,
But I'm
not
just
outgrow the space, but outgrow that as a.
I'd like to outgrow this space.
Okay, I mean, well, that's something else to talk about. But I mean, it's been a darn good. The Hollow has been a good place.
Yes, yeah. There's, I mean, especially for the money, this has been a good facility. But there is issues like that. The HVAC is a problem in certain contexts, especially for recording, and the bathroom situation here leaves a little to be desired. There is minor problems, and I do like this is an office space that's located in a larger storage facility. The business itself is a storage facility, and there is some uncertainty with that. Like, we're not here on a lease. They can jack the rent at any time. There's a certain, I mean, most people that come here are pretty good, but there is undesirables from time to time running around. I mean, obviously, because they cause the bathroom problems. People are always flushing, obscene amounts of paper towel and that sort of thing.
And who knows what else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of keeping it guerrilla, like that's sort of, like that kind of works right now because other than, there being, maybe a small moving truck worth of stuff, it would be a pretty good, you could be out of here in a day.
Yeah, but that's a concern too. Like, if we did have to leave suddenly, this is too much stuff to take anywhere else. Like, I would have to get a storage locker at minimum.
That's right, exactly. So
and that would bring the price down, but it wouldn't bring it down a lot.
No, but that logistic, I think, is something that we need to think about, and I'm hyper concerned about that.
Yeah. So
that's why, when you mentioned earlier, might be a mistake to get rid of some of this stuff, and it would be like, well, might not have a choice.
Yeah.
So, and I'd rather be, not caught unawares, and I think you kind of have to keep an ear to the track and listen for a train coming, I think, is what you need to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I think if we were to largely open up the space, and what I mean by that is not have a bunch of detritus in the shot, stuff stacked up in the corner, then we could really go to town on a production here. Like, nobody'd have a clue where we were shooting it.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Except, well, the people that participate.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of whoever would watch the content.
Speaking of content, there was another idea I wanted to run by you. We've talked several times before about having small meetings, like whether it's like a meeting for songwriters or a meeting for music producers or a meeting for various topics, right? We could also start having some of those and turning that into hollow content as well.
We could. I mean, I guess it depends on what you need equipment-wise to be set up. Like, that's the thing, is that when you've got a space like this, even if it were double the size, you still don't have room for everything. Do you know what I mean? So It's like, what's its primary function? Okay, well, its primary function is as a meeting place. Okay, for how many people? Let's say 2 to 6. Okay, well, that sounds good. Now, are you going to record that, audio and video? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, now we have to set up stands, lights, microphones, whatever... Yeah. However, whatever the systems are going to be. I mean, these little Rode Go's are fantastic. You don't need stands and cables everywhere.
Well, how many Rodes do you have? I have
4.
So we have 6.
Yeah, we have 6.
And we each have a Zoom H6.
Yeah.
So we have tons of audio capacity. Even the 6 Rodes is okay.
And configurations.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch of adapters to adapt the devices, the receivers.
Right.
Into XLR connectors. I also have with my Rode H6, I've got the dual XLR attachment for the top, so I can actually have 6 inputs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Into the H6, and it works very well.
Yeah, so we got tons of that, and then you've got a couple of cameras here.
Yeah, there's a couple here, and we could make really great use of them. So equipment isn't the issue. But the issue is, and this is where I don't want to have happen. I was producing a music show, for about, I guess, nearly close to 2 years, and it was it was quite a bit of work setting up and tearing down. Now, we had our systems, and we had like the minimal amount of gear possible to do that kind of a show, 3-camera shoot with up to 12 channels of audio, and live. It was a live off the floor thing, not streaming. But it was just I want to stay away from that. Like I don't necessarily want to see things set up permanently. Yeah. But if you've got some mic stands or if you've got whatever, you can just kind of like move them over to the side, but then you can easily quickly pull them out. That being said now, there's a beautiful workstation desk and a mix desk. But where does that go now? Does that factor into the program of the space? If so, where does it go? Does it go in the middle? Does it go along one wall? Does it go, you know what I mean? Like right now it's kind of tucked into that pocket that we mentioned.
Yeah, I'm tempted to leave that, if we don't use the table out here, I'm tempted to leave it set up there and like just take the monitor clamp down and store things beside, underneath, and on top of it. So that it's easy, if we decide to move the room back to something like this again, it's easier to do if we're not reassembling tables.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Well, that's, that would certainly...
But if it's not possible, it's not possible too. Like there is a lot of stuff to move over. So.
But I mean, again, it's like when we design a function in architecture, you want to always look at what's the programming, how do you use the space, how many people are involved, when do you come and go, is it daytime, nighttime? Like you ask all those questions. That's what I wouldn't mind doing, is saying, okay, under what scenario are we going to set up, or for what scenario are we going to set up? I mean, obviously, for the next little while, if we're going to shoot some little shows in here, then you would set up for that. And then change that up afterwards.
Yeah.
It's a very versatile space, very, very, very functional.
If somebody was in here, let's just use a singer-songwriter with an acoustic guitar for this example. If somebody was sitting roughly where you are and playing, and we recorded them, actually, I have a couple quick questions. Would we use the H6 for that? The H6 and a couple of mics?
For what?
To record it?
To record a performer?
The performer, yeah. Like say
the performer. Yeah, we certainly could. I mean, there's that. There's the Model 12. There's...
I've got two of the live DI boxes, two active DI boxes too.
Yeah. And I mean, there's the X32. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it.
That could be packed up though.
It could be.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Like, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's assume that we're using the H6 then.
Yep.
When it comes to noise removal for this HVAC, would you even attempt that on an acoustic guitar performance?
Yeah, I would do the same thing as we do with these microphones.
Yeah, you don't think that would degrade the sound too much?
It will slightly, but I mean, again, if you're not A-B'ing them, you're not going to know. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we're bringing someone in here to make an album or a,
No, it's just got to be listenable.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it would be more than listenable. I really do. Okay. And if they have a pickup, then I mean, you'd run a clean line in, and bit of ambience. You'd use the microphone. Yeah. I would use dynamic microphones for that, and then it would reject a lot of the surrounding noise. Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for just we're going to use dynamic mics even for just spoken word stuff?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
But you don't put an active DI box on a microphone, right?
No. Yeah. No, you just jack right into wherever it is you're going into.
I know mics can benefit from a preamp, but...
That's right, yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah, you're not, again, what are we recording, right? Like if you're just going to be recording like these little guys, for instance, the little Rode Goes. Yeah. If you were to bring out a 57, which makes a nice kind of a presentation microphone. The 58s are good, but they've got that big, the steel ball on the end of it, which kind of, I find, obscures someone's face. Yeah. Ironically, the SM57 was invented as a presidential microphone. They've been using them since the late 50s.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. They usually they've got the two of them mounted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next time if somebody presidential is making a speech, have a look slightly down, you'll see the two 57s right there.
I think I've seen what you're talking about. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But with 6 Rode Goes at our fingertips, I'm kind of thinking that's the way to go for anything spoken.
Yeah, I mean, there's
just bust out microphones for performers, like singers.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Western AF. And they've been up into, I don't know if they've changed things now, but they've been just recording people like out in a park or, in the woods, forest. And they put a Rode Go on the guitar, and they put a Road Go on the lapel, and that's all they use.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then for the longest time, I think the main guy that was doing it, he was just using a handheld camera. So it was like one shot.
Yeah.
But it's performance. It's a single song. You can get away with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got more than enough options at this stage of the game. And like I said, if this is more or less about what can be done and less about extracting the best possible recordings out of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't...
I guess I just wanted to talk about some of this, like what equipment we'd use in what scenarios, so that we're spending less time asking those questions when we actually have a show to work on.
Yeah, that's... although that might be worth revisiting, when it's time to kind of plan, plan out those details. How are we going to light it? I mean, it would also be fun to come in here and kind of and do like a test.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got all the stuff moved out of the way. What lights do we want to use? Are we going to use LEDs? Are we going to use hot lights? What are we going to do? And then where are we going to place them? What basically kind of work that out. And
maybe I'll play a couple songs for us to do a test.
Yeah. Or give a little speech.
I'd rather do the songs because we know that we can make somebody up for a speech. We know that.
We do know that we can mic them up, but what are they going to look like in front of the camera? Like, are they going to look like, there's a cheap light standing right to their side, or like, what do you want to do? Do you want?
I'm assuming you'd set up your lights and we'd shut these lights off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And so in terms of lights, we've got I've got 2 full kits of Lowell hot lights, so they're tungsten, so they will warm up a little bit. I mean, we don't have to worry because we've got the HVAC going, but they will give you like a nice filmic cinematic look to them. Okay. And then I've also got the 2 LED lights, the Nighthawks, and I think they're the equivalent of 500 watts, I think. And they have V-mount batteries on them, so we don't need to run cables if we don't need to or don't want to.
Yeah. And
we just put a piece of translucent paper over top of them just to mellow them out a little bit, so you don't have that harsh, shiny skin glow.
Right.
And then move them around, decide what we want to do, lighting from the side, from the top side, like how we want to do that. Yeah. And then check find a good angle for the camera, find a good angle for the cut to, and then we're good to go.
Okay, well that's what we'll do then.
I was just going to say, the nice thing about the H2N is, especially if we're going to use the receivers for the Road Goes, is you can kind of cluster that all around one of the cameras, and then you can run the output of the H6 into the camera. And then you've got, because those cameras will record 4 channels of audio. Oh. So then you've got whatever shotgun mic is on top of it, but then you've also got a clean stereo a signal recorded from the H6 into the camera, so you don't have to worry about...
There's no post-production syncing.
Yeah.
I'm personally a fan of doing as much post as I can, but I know that's probably wrong.
Well, I don't think there's anything stopping us from doing that, but I think, again, we don't want to take our eye off the ball, and I think this is about proof of concept, not proof of performance per se. We're not submitting this to for a grant for anything.
Not yet.
Well, not yet. No, yeah, but I mean, let's just see. Let's as you said earlier, episode 0, I think. Let's just get it rolling.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's kind of make decisions as we go.
I'm looking forward to Jason's reaction from this. I think anything from him is possible. I think him saying this is crazy and not for me is possible, and I think it all the way up to he wants as much involvement as possible. I think it's all possible.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm curious to see what he has to say.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I mean, I think that's the thing that I wanted to talk about mostly was where to put all the stuff that needs to move. And I guess,
lately I've just been, when I'm by myself, I just use this as a rehearsal and practice place. these days lately. Like I write my guitar licks in here. I do some songwriting stuff. I do a lot of practicing in here. I can do that regardless of what this room looks like. And one thing, just to be off topic for a second, that I found that is just fucking brilliant for me. Like I will say I write a song, right? I will record myself just using my iPhone or whatever, playing the song, just strumming chords and singing the song, play it through. And then I like to listen back to that recording and try to play my lead licks to that. That's how I write the lead licks.
Yeah.
I'm going to incorporate it in a single performance to be able to play it all at once, but that's how I write the lead licks.
Yeah.
Those AirPod headphones I bought, those $400 AirPods, they have a transparency mode.
Okay.
Which means it's a mix of what's coming in through my headphones and it's picking up the environment around me and pumping it in through little microphones that are built into the AirPods.
Oh my, okay.
So in transparency mode, the reason I started using transparency mode is because if I'm walking outside, I like to be able to hear the environment around me and also hear the podcast or the music that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant for that because the noise cancellation on those is too good.
Oh, I imagine.
You wouldn't hear an ambulance till it was up your ass.
Yeah.
And that's like not good, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
So I got used to this transparency mode. Well, it occurred to me, if I record myself just strumming the songs and singing, play it back through my iPhone but in transparency mode, I could sit here with an acoustic guitar, noodling lead licks, and the AirPods picks them up.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing this beautiful mix in my ears of what I'd recorded earlier and what I'm playing live now.
Right.
On an acoustic guitar. And the workflow is just amazing. There's no cables, there's no fucking DAWs and computers that I needed before to do that system.
Now, is there any way to record the mix out of the AirPods?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
I mean, I would have to go back to I could put a version of GarageBand or something on my phone and then just start multi-tracking, like on the local GarageBand.
Yeah, no, but then now you're dealing with a little DAW.
Right. And
But I mean, if there was a way, to hear that mix of ambient and recorded, and somehow record that, almost do like a bounce.
It'd be neat, but I don't know if I'd have any real use for it because I'm just playing sections over and over trying to write.
True enough, but you'd be able to listen back later to your.
That's true.
Yeah, you're jamming with your previous self.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the technology is. I mean, it's going beyond impressive now. I mean, even just what's happening with the AI stuff that's going on is really. I mean, it's like you have to be careful not to make any kind of a Faustian deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it would be like you could certainly go down that dark path.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I mean, as long as you're kind of keeping it true, keeping it honest.
And invention, innovation too, is interesting to me. Whoever invented transparency mode on the AirPods, they weren't thinking of a guy with an acoustic guitar that might have a use for it in a room to write lead parts. That wasn't on their thought. They were thinking other things. So, but it shows you, when you innovate something and you invest in a product that could do something new, they're not even entirely sure how people are going to use it. So they're gambling that people are going to find a use case for this that is going to be popular enough to sell things. And I think that's kind of interesting too. And AI is another good example of that. They're not entirely sure what people are going to use this for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've gone through in their whiteboarding, their SWOT analysis and all that. I'm sure they've kind of run through scenarios.
Oh yeah, yes.
But I think there's still room for them being surprised.
Right.
That's
what
never saw
I'm saying.
that coming. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big thing.
Yeah.
Tech is interesting that way.
It is. I just again, there's part of me wants to return to my 25-year-old self, with the good news that all of these things that we dreamt of came true, and that we can now, we're free and clear to use them as we had hoped, wished.
Yeah.
And now.
But then also remember to tell them that nobody buys music anymore.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. And then, but also, I mean, to free yourself from all the encumbrances that come along with this, technological age, to be free to go back and just play again like you did, before the iPod,
we've had this conversation before, and you're right about that. That's a big thing. As much freedom as DAWs and home recording gave me, it basically stopped my productivity for years.
Yeah.
I was further off from a point of being prolific. I was further off when I had pen, paper, and an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Because I wrote. I didn't spend time on other shit.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, I'm spending time learning DAWs, and time looking at plugins, and time dealing with software instruments, and time trying to coordinate drums and bass when I'm not a fucking drummer or an arranger.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so much that we can do now that we try to do all of it, and that becomes a massive time sink and an addicting time sink.
It does. It's I mean, it's a real deep rabbit hole that you can just disappear, for ages. The other problem, in addition to that, and I've experienced that, what you're just talking about now too, but I think the other thing that is noteworthy is that it's disrupted the normal flow of things. Like back in the old days, you learned how to play an instrument, and then you got together with some friends and you formed a band, and then you learned some songs, and maybe you went out and played, and maybe you got good, and maybe you wrote some songs together, and then maybe you got a small fan base, and then you decided whether or not you wanted to turn professional. But when the question came up of, are we going to record this, you were already well down that path to the point where you were good enough to go into a recording studio. Yeah. And now, just as you mentioned there, we're kind of not. Like we're using technology now to fill in the gaps that we ourselves lack. Yeah. And that's caused, like, that's basically got us all, gunked up in the gumbo. You know what I mean? You're trying to it's just like, wow, like how do we get out of this one now?
It is funny. Like, to me, even some of the best sounding commercially available recordings today, they lack the energy and the aliveness of recordings I have that were done in the 80s.
Yes. Or the 70s, or the 60s.
And it's for the reasons you just said. The bands were tight and hot before they even went into the recording studio.
Yep.
Recording time was expensive, so they only overdubbed what needed to be done.
Yep.
And
with rare exception, but for the most part.
Yeah, and they were forced to be more innovative. They weren't using plugins for effect. Yep. They were moving microphones to weird locations. Yep. They were trying, with their very limited tool set, those constraints matter sometimes, and they feed creativity.
That, and I'm talking with another musician about some recordings that we've done and are going to be doing more. And he had mentioned to me, that he was thinking about, he plays multiple instruments, but he was thinking about that, I guess, after what we'd already done. And he says, I think it's just my voice, guitar, and bass. Like that needs to be. Those need to be the tools that I bring to this, and then not worry about mandolin or drums or anything. And I said, excellent. I said, you've got your constraints now, your limitations. Yeah. Now that opens you up to a whole new spectrum of recording, because you're not worried. Does this song need an accordion in it, or does this need a banjo, or does this need a lead guitar on top of your acoustic guitar? Like, no, don't even consider all that. Here's what you're bringing to the party. Let's go. And it just, again, we both kind of realized, we had that epiphany. Yeah. That this is right. This is right and good. Not saying that, a big production is wrong, but I'm saying that in this context where we are now, this is the right path to be on.
So maybe we should apply this logic to what we're trying to do here.
I thought we are.
Well, we kind of are, but like more explicitly. Like, let's restrict ourselves to the 6 Rode Go mics and a couple of video cameras.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to figure out that initial thing. Yeah. But then once we figure that out,
then stick to that.
Then we stick to that. Yeah, and not make it about,
I mean, the day could come where we expand, but until that day, we stick to our thing. Yeah. And expand very, very carefully.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, it's not about it's about getting an end result or arriving at an end result. It's not about the end result itself. The end result is not the thing itself.
So maybe for the time being, then
it's the process,
we should not look at it. We should not look at it as setting this space up just for a proof of concept and then going somewhere else.
Well, that's the difference.
Until we have a reason to do that.
But I think we will shortly, though.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Like, I'd like to be ready.
Yeah.
But the thing is that. Yeah, like I'm not saying experiment with every possible microphone and recording device combination we have, but let's make a bit of an effort. Let's not just set up where we are right now with all the storage stuff in the background. Like let's take it one notch up from that, so that whoever comes in to perform, like whether it's a speaker, whether it's a musician, can at least have something then that they could share with others, not necessarily.
You were right when you said the other week. Like, I would like somebody to walk in here and at least feel like this is a setup for performance. Like,
yeah, that we've made an effort. That's the thing.
Like it might be really, dingy, low level, but
it certainly is guerrilla. There's no question about that. It's there's a hackiness to it, which I love, a DIY style to it. But at the same time, there needs to be a bit of heart, a bit of soul in it, as opposed to just, we don't care. Let's
get the thing rolling, make the thing, and then worry about upgrading it.
I think so. I think what we're trying to push forward isn't any one particular product or performance. I think we're asking the question, what can we do? Full stop.
Yeah.
And we're exploring different things right now without spending a lot of money, without devoting a lot of time, without...
The not spending a little bit of money thing is a little misleading because a fortune has gone into some of the gear we already have.
No, but I mean additionally. We don't have to have a budget for each of these things we're making right now because we're using, as you said, it's subsidized space, it's equipment that's already owned. So
it's a space we'd have anyway, and it's equipment we already own.
That's right. So I mean, you can say, well, what would this cost us to produce if we were starting from scratch or doing it for a client? Well, if you want to, you could put a price tag on it. Nothing wrong with that. But I think overall, though, it's a matter of it's just a matter of doing stuff. But as I say, doing stuff with just a little bit of zhuzh. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Like we don't have to be. We don't have to build a set.
Yeah.
We don't have to build a stage, but we can still, we can still have a little bit of intent, I think. We've got that music stand. The music stand is a perfect podium. Somebody can stand behind that, lay out their binder or their pages or whatever it is.
Even that little stand we could put beside them too. The one that your coffee's on.
Yep.
Yeah, we can clear all that out.
Yeah, and make it look like make it look like there's a purpose behind it rather than
So what are we going to do with this back wall? Are we going to do something presentation wise with that?
No, I think there's a curtain backdrop on it. I think that's perfect. I mean, as long as we frame, knees up, you're not going to see the open space in the floor below. And
I might get a Fritter Hollow banner made to put on top of the curtain. Do you think that's a mistake?
Well, definitely not. But I would say not necessary, and I would say. I would say hold the money.
Yeah.
Hold on to the money. Do it later.
The other thing we could do with this room that we hadn't considered, we are going this way because there's lots of depth. But what if we went this way?
Well, so what would that add? So two things. The first thing that says is that you'd have less place for people to sit on chairs. And then the other thing is you would have a shorter focal length for the cameras.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you're gonna get a wider.
Yeah, and whoever was speaking or performing wouldn't really benefit from the additional space around them.
No, definitely not. Like you can frame a single speaker within 4 feet of this.
Yeah.
And depending how the lights are shining, you wouldn't be able to tell where they were.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I thought about using the corner, and then putting a camera in the opposite corner because then you've got the longest focal length that you could, use. But
that also creates maximum space for people to sit and watch too.
It does, but then one of the cameras is blocking the door, the exit, and I'm not really comfortable with that.
Unless we put him in that corner.
And then, we could, but that corner is a little more messy in terms of the way the curtains are hanging. I think if we just shot this way, we got it.
Yeah.
I really do. If your average person is I'm average height, if your average person is my height, again, frame from the waist up with the shot.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, that thing right there.
This conversation makes me have to make a point then that just kind of occurred to me.
Okay.
Given that we don't need a ton of space for the performer on their sides, right? That does make this seem like an option, and then that leaves more room back here for storage.
True, but your storage will take your floor space away. Like now you're moving the audience closer to the speaker. You wouldn't be able to put a camera back there where the storage is.
Why not?
Well, if you've got storage along the wall, I mean, then you'd have to kind of move everything aside to get a camera back in there. Otherwise, the camera then would be like, say, 2 feet closer.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to definitely put something other than that curtain in that wall because that curtain is kind of short.
That's true too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not that you couldn't do it, but I think that I think the logical way to do it is to put the performer against this wall.
Yeah.
You can have them step out enough so the shadows aren't converging and looking weird.
That's true.
You know, and then you've got this whole area here now that you could put chairs, and we're not talking a lot, like maybe 6 or 8 chairs. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go to some of these chairs already came from there, like the value, not Value Village, but like the clearance centers. Mm-hmm. There's a government surplus clearance center.
On Fort Road there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we got that one from there.
Yeah.
And some other things.
This one?
Yeah.
No, this one I brought.
Okay, then it's one of them came from.
Yeah. Maybe this one?
No, that one and that one I bought. These two are good quality chairs. These are like, it was that one. No, that one you brought.
I didn't bring this one.
Okay, then it was that one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, those are perfect guest chairs.
Yeah.
You know, if they have folding ones there, that would be...
Well, I have one folding one in the corner there, but I'll get a couple more.
Yeah, those folding ones are ideal for that kind of stuff. They just fold up and...
But I mean, if we're talking the 6 mic max, we don't want a ton of people in here anyway. We want people that are going to ask questions and like...
Oh, you're talking about for the other things, yeah. But I was talking about, like, I think the first thing we're going to be doing in here is one of those little performances.
Yeah.
I think.
And you think the more people, the merrier for that?
No, but I think, like, if you've got 6, I think 6 would be good. Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just enough to have an audience so that the person's not talking against or to a wall.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, if we're on the same page about that, like if we had a singer-songwriter, we're not talking about a lengthy performance, though. We're talking about a song or two and then mostly conversation, right?
Yeah, I guess, like, I haven't even thought that far ahead with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's very interesting. I mean, I guess we have to talk about, like, who would that be? What would be their expectations of it? Why would they do this? You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of things, I think. I mean, I like to go back to your original idea, which is if you found someone on Kijiji or Facebook who was, all in on UFOs.
Yeah.
And the Disclosure movie that's going to be coming out, if it already hasn't, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure.
Yeah.
Might want to talk about UFOs, and again, it wasn't necessarily about the subject matter. It was about let's play with the space and the equipment and the format. Let's see what we can do with this.
Yeah.
So somebody comes in and does a half-hour talk on UFOs, and then they have that. They can take that away and use it or post it or do whatever. That's what I'm.
But I mean, even with performers, somebody wants to come in and play a song. Let them play a song, but then probe them, find out what's interesting about them. Like a lot of these shows where you have a performer perform a song or two, and then there's like a little interview. The interview itself tends to be about either the making of the music or what the music directly was about, what the song was directly about.
Yeah,
I'd rather probe people. Find their stories.
Yeah, well, I mean that may be a whole other chapter. Actually, is that because you did express some interest in doing that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see that as being what we do now, only because I'd like to give that its own space, that its own venue.
So would I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, I would do that with anybody. Like if somebody could come in here, to go back to just the UFO example, talking about UFOs, I'm going to at some point probe them and find out what else is interesting.
Probe them, ha ha ha.
Yeah. That's just what I do, right? Like it's not all going to be subject matter to me.
It is, I guess, though. I mean, so then, like, you would let them do their speech, though. Like, you'd let them do their presentation.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then, like, okay, let's sit down and
tell me about your grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just woo. my head swimming with possibilities.
Yeah.
There's so much we can do. But I guess I don't want to work in chaos. I mean, we're both, experienced, seasoned, I reluctantly use the term veteran producers.
Yeah.
I'd like this to be somewhat produced. I mean, it may sound like I'm contradicting what my earlier self was saying.
Yeah.
But I would still like to say, hey, okay, if you're kicking around, wanting to do something fun, you're still going to have a little bit of spark in it. I don't think it's just going to be totally guerrilla, totally,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Be a lot of guerrilla, a lot of DIY, but it'll still have some, you'll be able to still point to it and say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, they probably know what they're doing.
I mean, we don't know what we're doing to a point. We're doing this to...
No, but they know how to do that, is what I'm saying.
We know how to do it.
Yeah, we're not going to be fumbling around with road goes trying to get them to, get a signal into the H6 like that. Like we know how to do that.
It's going to be interesting the first little while trying to get people in here to participate, because they're going to ask, like, what are we doing here? What's the point of this show?
Well, I think
we don't really have that.
That's right, and I think that's kind of what we need to focus on, maybe even for the next episode, for the next session, is what do we tell people? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like why would a singer-songwriter want to come here and do that with like 5 people in a room? Like on the surface, it just looks weird.
It is weird. It's different.
We did talk about having a website. We did talk about kind of having a bit of a mandate or a manifesto or something on that
we're gonna
website.
do that. That's going to be one of our
one
of the soon episodes will Vibe Code.
Yeah, so I mean, if you were to look at some, I don't know, singer-songwriter, they would look at the website and they would go, oh, okay, this is kind of neat. This is like super, super, super early.
Yeah.
In the curve of this. Yeah, I'll do it. Sure, why not? But I mean, then again, we're not going to bring like a Joe Nolan in here to do that. Like he's not going to waste his time. He's going to want to be paid for it.
Yeah.
So you're going to bring someone in here who is like just really starting out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I really gravitated towards the idea of speakers.
So me too.
Way out there speakers, I think is maybe for the first 2 things we do, is that's what we want to do.
And even people that don't view themselves as a speaker. Like, that's why I want to join Meetup and Reddit and some other sites. I just want to find people that are passionate about stuff and say, come talk to us.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have a formal speech, but you can. If you want to put something formal together, you can present it before we talk.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something as innocuous as, hey, we see you on Reddit. I'm just saying Reddit, whatever.
Yeah.
We see you on Reddit. You've got lots of really interesting opinions on there. Would you like to put them on tape? Would you like to come and do a 20-minute talk?
Yeah. Yeah.
See what they say, and then give them the details after that. You don't have to give them all the details right off the bat.
But you are right that we need to do, broadly speaking, we need to do 3 things. I'll be looking for people in the background this whole time, but before we even really approach anybody, we need to get this room organized.
And tested, yeah. I think we need to do a little bit of it, yeah.
We need to get some sort of website up for them to look at, and then we need to get these episodes of the show posted, which is underway. That process is underway.
I think that's exactly where we are right now.
Yeah. So rough timeline, we might be a month away.
I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, and then in that time, as far as like episode fodder, we're gonna have the episode with Jason, or we'll see if he's interested in what 2 cents he'd like to throw at us, and especially in terms of organizing this room. We have to organize this room. We have to vibe code the website. That'll be a fun episode. We'll do some prep work for that. And I guess we'll be talking about. I'll start this week. I'll start mining for potential guests. We could talk about that, like who I might approach before I do it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you were to give somebody, a month or at least a couple of weeks heads up, you know what I mean? They would be able to, like, I don't think it would be say, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Would you like to come and do a talk? I don't think we'd do it that way.
Yeah.
But
I imagine it's going to be a lot of reaching out to people that end up ghosting me. That's going to happen a lot.
Definitely. We know that. Yeah. That's the world we live in now. So, but I just think, I mean, and again, maybe using ChatGPT to go over, the episodes, the transcript of the episodes, and just say, hey, pull out a task list, like what did we say we were going to do that we're missing, and then
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and then organize that, and then just check things off as we go along. Like, what are we doing this week? And say, oh, we're gonna vibe code the website. Okay, then I know it's like, okay, let's bring in a GoPro or Osmo. Let's bring in Osmo. Let's bring in this. We're gonna and then maybe I'll do my screen recorder. Those tend to work really well, by the way. I've got a field recorder.
Yeah.
A Ninja, Atmos Ninja, and you do a video out from your computer, and then you do input of a microphone into it, and then you hit record, and you've got a 4K.
It's like a screen capture.
Screen capture, which then doesn't use OSB or any of the other things, and it's already produced.
OBS. Right. Yeah.
OSB. That. I often will. It's like oriented strand board. It's like no.
There's so many acronyms.
We're not building anything. Yeah. OBS Studio.
Yeah, that's neat that you've got that.
Open Broadcast Studio. And then you can just again leave it off to the side. You can just let it do its thing. It's just a wonderful little piece of kit.
Do you use it for anything in particular?
I used to use it for a number of things actually. I use it for my rig when I rig up the EOS Canon,
right.
As a monitor and a field recorder. I used it for the show at the Commodore. We used it as a backup for the main camera.
Okay.
And then I use it now for to do screen captures with commentary.
Right on. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't have much else. This was, like I said, kind of an impromptu conversation. It wasn't.
Let's ask ChatGPT for a list.
For a list of.
I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And then carry on as we are.
All right. So it's going to be. Today is a Monday, and I think it's safe to say it's going to be at least 8 days before we get Jason in the room. Because he wanted to meet. His earliest availability is next Monday, and I am not available next Monday, so it'll be in a couple of days after that. Next Tuesday or Wednesday is probably my best guess.
Well, for Jason, yeah, but we could get together. Not that we have to, because I said there's no rush on this. There's no deadline.
Yeah.
But we could get together and do the vibe coding, or we could get together.
That's true.
Like that. That might be something.
We'll see what I can get done in the next few days, and then I'm technically free Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, if I can get enough assets together for the vibe coding, we need photos. We need at least a photo, still. And then a blurb.
Do you have a photo you could use? I mean.
Just put separate photos of us?
Yeah, like I could just give you a photo, like of me.
Yeah, I do.
As a placeholder.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, when you think of it, send me a photo you want to use.
Yeah.
Over the Discord or whatever. I'll start putting, and I'll with ChatGPT, I'll write up a little blurb about what we're doing, and we'll just have like a landing page. We'll vibe code a landing page for now.
Yeah.
With links to the YouTube page and the Transistor show.
Yeah, I'm quite curious to see what does the output look like? How do you take the end result of the vibe coding and put that onto a platform? Like that's you know what I mean?
You just dump it in there, man.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, well.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. See you next time.